right. Well, I am here with Hanna Whirty from Icelantic Skis to give us a rundown on the brand and the current lineup. But to kick things off, can you just tell us a bit about your background with Icelantic and how you ended up where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for having me. I really was a huge fangirl of Icelantic. And when I moved to Colorado, I had no idea what powder was from the East Coast. And I started skiing, here with 85 underfoot Solomon baby skis. And I had one powder day and I was like, that's it. I need new skis. And I found Icelantic skis on Craigslist for $180 with touring frame bindings. I was like, let's do it. And then that was kind of when I started, following the brand and knowing them. I looked up to Anna, the CEO, for a long time. And when I graduated college, I knew I needed some marketing experience. So I sought out an agency, and it happened to be that Icelantic was a client. And so I came on as their main account strategist and digital marketing manager for about 2 years. And then over that time, we just got super close and started skiing and hanging out. And brand is, so many cool people. And it kind of just became this natural thing where they wanted to bring somebody in-house. And I was really eager to fill that position. So so then I went in-house with them, and that was about 3 years ago. So all in all, I've been with them for about 5 years, and it's been such an amazing journey. It's been great.
Sweet. Well, good segue into one of the things that I think kind of defines Icelantic is being in Colorado, but not just being based here, also making skis here. Could you talk a bit just about that background for people who don't know? Kind of the location and how being based and producing skis in Colorado is kind of a part of the brand.
Yeah, for sure. Ben Anderson started the company in his parents' garage in Evergreen. He basically dropped out of college and was like, I'm going to start building skis. And so he started doing that in Evergreen. And after a couple years, he was like, decided he could make it a real thing. And I think the biggest part of always keeping it close and being in Colorado is really just being able to have a super hands-on approach with the manufacturing and the warehouse and knowing who's building our skis, actually being able to, shake those people's hands and hang out with them and not just go on one trip to go see the factory a year or whatever that might be. And so I think that was a huge part for Ben, was just being able to, really see everything that was happening. And in the early days, testing and just continuing to build skis. And, Icelantic started as this selling short skis, short and fat skis. And that was kind of how Icelantic was born. And, it's evolved now, as you can see. But there was a lot of iterations and different stuff happening in the early days. But it's also just, it's awesome to be able to say we're USA based and Colorado based. I think we're all have a lot of admiration and loyalty to the state of Colorado, and just keeping it in the country feels really good for a lot of different reasons. It's been great. The factory we work with every summer, so we build our skis there, and it's awesome knowing that I can go run down to Denver and take photos of a certain ski that we're pressing, whether it's a limited edition or just next year's models or whatever. I can go document that and tell that on the story. So, yeah.
Cool. I feel like talking about the origins of Icelantic from the get-go, it seems graphics and aesthetics have been something that makes these skis immediately stand out. Like you get on any mountain, you can recognize an Icelantic, typically by the graphics. Could you tell us a bit more about kind of the backstory there and how that's evolved over the years?
Yeah, definitely. So Ben Anderson started the company with Travis Parr and Annalisa. And Travis Parr has been doing the graphics since day one. Every top sheet that, Icelantic has put out in line has been Parr. And Travis has this amazing brain, and he's just such a creative person. And every year he's just basically put out a different set of graphics, and there's always been a theme. Since, the first days of the brand, there was a theme, whether it was, music or cityscapes or, natural environments or animals. There's always been a theme, and it's been really fun to see Parr's, evolution over the years. And it's pretty crazy to me that every year he's able to put together this, massive story and theme, and it's so vividly different from the previous year. And yeah, I think, that's definitely one of our distinguishing factors, is being able to say, our skis are skis, but they're also kind of a piece of art, and people want to hang them up in their bedrooms or display them on a wall. And I think that's pretty cool, because not only are they beautiful tools that let us do what we want to, what we love, but they look really great too. And yeah, so this, every year there's a different theme, especially around our Freeride line, the Nomad and the Maiden collection, which is Freeride. There's always like a really big theme around that. We've kind of transitioned a little bit, and our all mountain collection will usually involve some sort of mountains, and it's kind of always that theme. And then our backcountry collection usually features some sort of mapping, whether that's celestial night sky or topographic maps or sea maps or different things like that. So it's kind of evolved over the years, and now there are different themes around the different lines.
Yeah. I think Icelantic's one of the few brands where I can see a ski on a hill and be like, that's an Icelantic from 2010, because I remember that theme. And it's definitely a cool part of the company. On that note about like, these skis are not only tools, they're also very nice to look at. But on the tool side of the spectrum, it seems like Icelantic has a warranty that's maybe a bit on the more generous side than the industry. Could you talk about that?
Yeah. I think I can really confidently say that we make some of the most durable skis on the market. And we stand by that. We offer a 3-year bomb-proof, no questions asked warranty. And I think it just goes to show how durable the skis are. It's kind of great, because I'll go skiing and I'll see a 10-year-old shaman on the mountain that some guy is still ripping. He's like, yeah, I've been skiing these for years. And it's just really cool to see that, and see that type of brand loyalty. But also because the ski has stood up to the test of time, and maybe they have some filled in shots or whatever on their bases, but they hold up. And I think that's definitely one of our, something we really stand by, and we work hard to provide a durable ski, especially when skiing varied conditions and rocks and whatever early, late, mid-season might offer, depending on the Colorado snowfall. But yeah, our 3-year warranty is definitely something that we pride ourselves on. We like to brag about a little bit. And yeah, it feels good to be able to offer that and know that we can provide a product that you don't have to buy a new one every year. And you don't have to say, oh, I trashed the ski in half a season, I need to get a new one. Just because that's so rarely the case with our skis.
Cool. Well, with that, I think we'll get into a fairly brief, broad overview of the 22-23 lineup. I guess we might as well start with kind of some of the skis that have been in the lineup for a long time now in various iterations. Maybe kick things off with the Nomad and Maiden series.
Yeah, totally. The Nomad and Maiden Freeride collection are bread and butter. It's definitely been in Icelantic's history the longest. The Nomad is the male version of the Freeride ski, and the Maiden is the female ski. And we offer it in three widths on both sides. So there's the Nomad 95, which is a little bit more directed for the park skier. Somebody, who's spending a lot of their time on the front side, maybe dabbling in the park, but also just want a playful ski. And then there's the Nomad 105, and that's our top selling model. Really can handle it all. I mean, more than anything. I know probably every ski brand can maybe say that they have a ski that does it all, but the Nomad 105 definitely is that. You can take it out on, total groomer only day. You can take it out when there's been 20 inches of fresh, and it'll respond how you want it to. And then there's the Nomad 115, which is the widest out of the Nomad skis. And that's a hard charging big ski. Does really well in powder, fresh snow, big lines, big mountain, phenomenal ski, and meant for somebody who's ready to ski down and fast. But the Nomad collection and the Maiden collection are really just playful, super surfy, really fun. And on the women's side, there's the Maiden 91, which again is kind of built for the park skiing lady, front side, maybe East Coast type of skier. The Maiden 101 is our women's most popular model, and that's really designed for all mountain performance, whether that's kind of chundery snow, icy East Coast snow, or a little bit of fresh snow, it holds up really well. And then the Maiden 111 is the widest women's offering. And that's the powder ski. That's what I skied this whole week, which was awesome. But it's great because it's stable. And I also know, I can come out of a, bigger zone with fresh snow and then hit the groomed run and still be able to turn an edge on a fatter ski like that, which is really fun. So that's the Freeride collection. And this year's art is, we have the 105 on display, but the Nomad series is kind of a 3-part triptych photo or piece of art that we, for the first time, actually did one huge piece of art, or parted. I can't say we because it was all him. He, one big piece of art, and we kind of did 3 different sections on the skis. So it's a phoenix rising from the ashes. And so the 95, the skinniest ski is, the birth of the phoenix, and then it's rising. And so it's a pretty cool series. And same with the Maidens. It's the transformation of a butterfly, and they're beautiful every year. I mean, I say that they're the best graphics, but
yeah, it's cool to see them all lined up in the Icelantic booth together. It's definitely a sweet combo. Moving on to another series, one of the more recent developments for the brand, the Saba Pro and Nia Pro. Could you tell us a bit about the background there? Seems to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. We're going into now the 3rd season of the Nias and Sabas. What was really cool was basically this, this idea was born out of wanting to build a pro model ski. And I think, it's tough because we're all so close, and all the athlete team, everybody is so close, and we didn't want to make just a single pro model for an athlete. So we decided to, why not take all of the feedback from all of our athletes and kind of start to funnel that down into a ski that really was born out of a group collective. And so we started by doing that. I think the first step we took was sending out a Google form to every single ambassador, athlete, really anybody who had ever received, more than one free pair of Icelantic skis. And we took all of that into a massive spreadsheet, and we just started kind of like breaking it down and really paring it down. And then we broke it off into a men's group and a women's group. We took, small group of our women athletes and a small group of our male athletes, and had a lot of time in meeting rooms talking about, what should we do? What's going to look good? And the coolest part, I think, was that the men and the women had no cross communication. They weren't talking to each other at all. And the ski that both of them put together was essentially the same. A little bit different in the, the flex patterns and stuff like that, but the full reverse rocker, full rocker profile, they both wanted that in a ski. So we kind of seized that opportunity to create the Saba for the men, and then the Nia for the ladies. Originally in the first year, there was just the Saba 117. And we last year introduced the 107, which is a little, obviously a little skinnier. And then we spent a lot of time prototyping it. We brought all the athletes back a few times to prototype it. We had only white top sheets and, some secret codes to really test out what was working, what people were liking. They tested it. We also had some people who were not involved in the design process at all test the ski just to give that feedback as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a completely athlete designed ski. And then the groups worked with Travis Parr to do the artwork, and they kind of got to dictate what they put on the skis and what it was going to look like. And, the first year, there's all these kind of like secret messages and all the skis and lots of deeper meanings, which was really fun. And the skis themselves are amazing. I think a lot of people are maybe a little daunted by the fact fully rockered ski, but they're really fun, and they give you what you put into it for sure.
Yeah, I think the super interesting part of that for me was like, people who are familiar with Icelantic's pro team, it's not like everyone's the same type of skier. You have like super freestyle oriented people, super freeride, like big mountain line oriented people. And I was like, what is that ski going to turn out like with that wide ranging of input into it? But I finally got on the Saba Pro 117 the other day because it finally snowed. And yeah, getting on that ski, it like kind of made sense in my mind, like super easy and quick in like tight trees and stuff, but still capable at speed. So yeah, it's an interesting project for sure. We don't see too many pro models that are a collaboration of a bunch of different people.
Yeah. It was the first kind of thing Ben had told me about. And when I came on, he said, "Hey, we're doing this athlete pro model ski, and it's a massive project." And to be involved from day one of that and work with the athletes, and I was also documenting it and taking photos and interviewing a lot of them and trying to create this big story, was really fun and just an awesome project. And now we're in our third year of it, and it's been really cool to see. I think we'll potentially continue to expand and maybe tinker with the line a little bit based on just different feedback we've gotten. And, so even some of the athletes, they're like, "Hey, we loved this when we designed it, but what if we did this? And what if we tested this instead?" And so starting to think about prototyping different models, different versions, and seeing how we can expand that into our line, which is, I think, would be great.
Cool. Well, with that, we can move on to the rest of the line. Maybe you want to talk about touring skis?
Yeah. So for our touring skis, we've got kind of three main things going on. There's the Lite collection, and then there's the Mystic women's collection and the Natural men's collection. The Lites are essentially the Nomad 105 and the Maiden 101 with different cores, a lot lighter, but same overall profile. So still, rockered ski, and it's definitely made for kind of the crossover skier who's, going to put a shift on it, ski it in the resort, but also maybe they start dabbling in the backcountry and want a playful ski in the backcountry because they're, either doing bigger tricks or, they want to ski backwards off of something, I think we saw an opportunity there in the kind of backcountry market for something of that sort, and knowing how well the Nomad 105 and Maiden 101 were doing and how much people loved them, we're like, this feels like a good opportunity. So then there are the Mystic women's backcountry skis and the Natural men's backcountry skis, and those are definitely more of a traditional, flat tail, directional backcountry ski, super light wood core. The women's offerings are in a Mystic 97 and a 107. The 107 is my daily, backcountry ski. I'll ski that inbounds a lot too if I can only bring one ski on a trip and I know I'm going to be skiing everything, because it's super fun. It does well in fresh snow, and it also is able to carve down steeper terrain or trees or whatever. And I personally also like the 107 because there's not a huge market for big, fatter women's backcountry skis, at least to my current knowledge. I think that's expanding a lot. But the 107 is an awesome ski. And then the men's, we've got the Natural 101 and the Natural 111. So kind of same thing, a skinnier, smaller ski for those coulees, spring ascent, stuff like that. And then the wider version for somebody who's, okay with having a little extra weight and having a fatter ski for the downhill. So are they the lightest backcountry skis on the market? Probably not, but they hold their own on the downhill, which is awesome. We've had a lot of feedback of, hey, I really want a ski for the backcountry that isn't, super light. Like I can charge hard down, and I've found that in the Natural 101 or whatever that, might be. And it's cool. I think we have that market kind of nailed down.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I guess we can round things out then on the all mountain side of things.
Yep. Yeah. So the all mountain collection has seen, definitely the most change probably in the past couple of years. We've played a lot with the shape and the cores and what actually is going on in that ski. We have wood cores. We're not putting sheets of metal in our ski. So how, we kind of looked at it, how do we create a really good all mountain ski that's going to be really fun, carve, do well, but it doesn't have metal in it. So over the years, we've, changed it a lot, and it's, I think, the best it's been. So we have the men's Pioneer collection, and then the Riveter women's collection. And again, there's 3 waist widths for each collection. For the women, there's the 85, 95, and 104. And then the men, there's the 86, 96, and 109. And I mean, that's such a huge kind of wide coverage of waist width skis. There's, the 86, Pioneer 86, that is truly for that front side only skier, skiing groomer onlys. And then there's the Pioneer 109, which a lot of our athletes ski, and even as a backcountry ski or, kind of their daily driver, that charges hard and, point it straight, and that ski will take you where you want to go and ski through whatever you really want to do. same thing on the women's side. The 85 is definitely more front side, groomer type of ski, maybe for somebody who's just getting into skiing type of thing. And then, the 104, which is a recent addition, because we were finding a lot of women wanted an all mountain ski, but still had that wider waist width that was, going to be able to let them ski powder or whatever it might be. And over the past, 2 seasons, we worked and we actually flattened out the tail quite a bit. It used to have a lot of tail rocker in it, and that kind of made it this crossover between a all mountain and a freeride ski in a way. And we kind of wanted to say, let's commit to this, all mountain frontside-ish type of ski. And so we flattened out the tails, which just made turning on the skis way different and in such a better way.
Cool. Well, Hanna, thank you so much for being here. We're super psyched you made it to the Blister Summit, got to try out a bunch of new Icelantic skis, and hopefully we get to ski again soon. Yeah,
thanks so much for having me and breaking the seal as my first video interview. Yeah. I really appreciate it. It's you guys have put together a really awesome event, and it's a blast to be a part of. So cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Yeah, thanks.